for this.
Okay, so I do have sharing abilities.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's good.
Please tell me that all those other people didn't pick insurance over personal branding. Oh, this is better.
There you go. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes as we wait for people to join. How are you guys doing this morning?
Good morning.
How are you guys doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
I'm still sleepy, but I have my coffee and excuse my bedhead. I didn't want to miss this.
That's totally okay. As long as you show up, that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, we'll give it just a few more seconds and then we'll start.
Hey Tanya, before we say it's okay, we got to ask what time zone you're in, because like,
yeah,
it's like noon.
And that's a problem. Absolutely would be a problem for me. No, it's 7:18 here in Sacramento, California. I'm in Northern Cali.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
I'm in Northern
I'm in
California
Portland
too. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Tanya, we can like set up a coffee thing sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm in Vallejo.
Absolutely.
Like
If Tiffany's here, Tiffany Lund, she does coffee in the morning with Ellie Baxter. So if you guys want to join tomorrow, I'm sure they'll post it on Facebook. Yeah, but yeah, usually I'm up and ready. But yeah, this morning I needed to catch up on some sleep from the week.
Amen.
Thank you for being here, everybody.
Awesome.
Right. Okay. I guess we'll start. Okay, we got 8 people here. Well, first of all, I can just tell that this presentation is gonna be fire already because of this of the look of the presentation. We can tell we're going to learn a lot of good tips from Seantal. And I'm really excited for this. So she's going to talk about personal branding. You're going to talk about like websites and stuff too. Is that true? Okay, good.
Right.
Okay, so just a little bit of background. Seantal is a seasoned brand marketer. She has over 8 years of experience in that field. Her what do you call this? She's worked for more than 1,000 businesses, shape authentic, impactful brands for people she worked with. And she's known for just this really bold approach on personal branding. She believes that the best brands reflect the unique voice and vision of the people behind them. And personal branding, a really effective one, is really going to help us create real connections with our audience, right? So like what Kim has said, people has to know us first. And the best way to know us is to build an authentic, and I would always say the highest version of our personal brand. So without further ado, let's hear it from Seantal.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. I hope your day is going well. I hope your week has been well. Before getting started, I do want to thank Kimberly for the opportunity to share on here. And I just want to thank you all for joining me today. And so today we're going to be speaking on something that I think can really transform your business and really help shape how people perceive you and help you to stand out online. And the topic that we will be speaking on today is building your personal brand and why you need a website. You see, nowadays, personal branding and a website is not something that is like optional or something that's cool to have. Nowadays, it's something that is really essential if you want to build trust and credibility. And so today we're going to be covering that a little bit. And so I just want to start off with an introduction. So I'm Seantal Panton. I am the owner of JOA Creative Lab. Yeah, I've been in business for about 8 years, and I've had the opportunity to help over 1,000 brands to succeed online. I've worked with like different genres of businesses, from franchises to corporate giants. But my personal favorite are personal brands. I really love helping people to define their unique qualities and tell their stories in a way that truly connects. And so, a few fun facts about me. I'm newly married, just got married in April. I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. I love matcha. I know you spoke of coffee in the outside, but I'm more of a matcha fan. Yeah. And if I were not doing branding, I'll probably be in the kitchen somewhere, learning how to be a master chef. That's my second love. And so now that you guys know like a little bit about me, I'd like to dive into today's topic on building a personal brand. And so here is what we'll be covering today. What is personal branding and why does it matter, right? Number 2, why having a website is essential for owning your digital presence, right? And finally, we're going to just share a few key steps that you can take to create a brand and website that are both memorable and authentic. Sounds good? Awesome. So quick question. When you think of personal branding, what do you think of? You can drop it in the chat or you can verbally share. I love engagement and things like that. So I'll give you guys a minute. When you think of personal branding, what do you think of?
Putting yourself out there, presenting yourself to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, making that first impression, like, whoa, here I am. I think so, anyway.
Yeah. Good answer.
An extension of you and what you're trying to put off.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's a good answer.
I would say your personal brand is the first thought that somebody has when they think of you.
Yes, definitely. All good answer. Anyone else?
A brand that basically relates to other people, like that's what would attract them to you. Like, oh, wow, you know, I kind of been through the same similar thing.
Mm-hmm. That's good. They're all good answers. Yes. Personal branding is all like building relatability, first impression. What's like some words people will associate you with when they think of your name. And so, yeah, they are all good answers. So I wanted to share a quick fun fact. Did you know that over 70% of people Google someone before meeting them? Raise your hand if you've ever done that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've all done that at some point in time. And so if someone were to Google you right now, we can all be honest here, what do you hope that they would find?
Connection.
My business, what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. It could be testimonials. It could be maybe articles that you've been featured in, maybe blogs on community impact, whatever it is, you do want it to be good stuff, right? And so let's talk about this. Why do people Google others before meeting them? There are 3 big reasons. And so first, they want to see if you are trustworthy. Are you someone that they can rely on, you know? Are they credible? Do they have like social proof, right? Second, they're curious about your style and personality. Is this someone that they can connect with? You know, as Kimberly said previously, people buy into people first before they buy into the vision. And so, of course, getting to know you is so key and essential before like building like a relationship, right? And so, and third, they're looking for alignment. Do your values, do your work ethic or expertise fit with what they're looking for, right? And so think about the last time you looked someone up. Maybe you were preparing for a meeting, right? An interview or even a coffee chat. You wanted to get a sense of who they were, right? This is why personal branding is so important. It's how we influence those initial perceptions before we even meet. And so there is a quote that I love, which says that first impressions are no longer face-to-face, y'all. They're online. And so if you're not online right now, you're missing out like on a huge opportunity. Literally, that's where the future is headed. The future is tech, the future is online. And so in today's world, your digital presence often speaks before you do. Yeah, people go visit your social media platforms to connect and really sum you up before even meeting you, right? And so this is why it's so important to intentionally craft your personal brand so it reflects the real you even before people meet you. And so we're here. What is personal branding? So many people think that personal branding is like having a professional headshot or a polished LinkedIn profile, but it's so much more than that. You know, personal branding is about capturing and sharing what makes you unique. It includes your story, your values, and even, yes, your personality. It's not just about what you do, it's about the feeling people have when they interact with you or see your online presence, right? Personal branding is literally like the full expression of who you are and what you stand for. And so let's pause for a moment. Think of someone whose personal brand stands out to you, right? It could be a mentor, it could be a friend, it could be a colleague, or even a public figure. What is it about them that makes them memorable? You can throw out a few words. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
They're consistent.
Consistent, that's a good one. Anyone else?
Ironically enough, there's something about people that are interesting to me and people that in some ways are vulnerable, but people that also are credible.
Right. See?
Right. I mean, for me, I think those kind of three things stand out a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah, all good. Credibility, consistency, all words that describe trust, right? Anyone else?
I think seeing someone that's excited about what they do, I mean, very, shows passion. And like David said, consistency and passion and, just being attractive to people,
Right.
what you're
Right.
doing.
Right. See? Good point. And that speaks on like a personality trait, right? It just shows how showing your personality also impacts people's perception of you. And so when I think of personal branding, I think of it as your reputation blueprint, right? So what that includes is your unique style, what makes people recognize you, your values and mission, the core principles that drives you, right? And consistency across all platforms, because when people see a cohesive brand, it just builds trust. Your brand isn't just what you do, it's how you make people feel, right? And so if you really think about it, we are all walking experiences, right? And so personal branding really matters. And let's dive deeper into why that is. So people invest into people they trust, right? Whether it's a client hiring you or a partner wanting to collaborate with you or a new connection that you made at work, right? Trust is at the heart of it all. Your personal brand is the bridge that builds that trust, right? And so ask yourself, does your online presence communicate reliability and professionalism? If someone found your LinkedIn, right, your website, or your social media right now, would it give the impression that you want it to? Think about it, right? And so let's explore how you can start building that kind of trust through your personal brand, right? So building your personal brand, the essentials. You want to define your core values, as I mentioned before. Think about the principles that drives you. Is it integrity? Is it creativity? Or maybe collaboration? These are the backbone of your brand, right? You also want to identify your unique strengths, right? Like what sets you apart? Is it problem-solving skills? You know, is it you being able to be vulnerable, right? Is it the way you connect with others? These are all key things that you can think about when you're assessing your strengths, right? And then finally, I really love this part. You want to craft your story, right? People connect with people, not resumes, right? So you want to share why you do what you do and the journey that brought you here. Yeah. So I like to tell my clients, you know, ever so often you do want to jot down different parts of your stories because, as I said, people connect with stories. Relatability is such a big part of building your personal brand. Like if a person cannot really relate with you, they may think, oh, she just maybe does not get me, right? And they may move on to someone whose stories kind of align. So you want to make it a habit to identify parts of your stories that your target audience can identify with and make it a habit to share and share often, right? And so let's try this quick exercise. In the chat, type 3 words that describe your values or strengths. These are the foundation of your personal brand. I'd like to see what those are. Or you could share it out loud, whichever is better for you guys. So 3 words that describes your values or strengths. Like what do you want to be known for?
I think for me, it's add value,
Mm-hmm.
Transparency,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many other ones. I'm trying to think of. Just I want to help others. I be kind of. I just want to be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like add value, I guess.
That's awesome. It's good. Those are good. Awesome. Anyone else?
I have no idea,
Oh, really?
honestly. And it's funny because I know what I want my business to be known for, but what do I want me to be known for? That's an entirely different question.
Right.
And it's you know, just in candor, right? I mean, it's been a shift for me. You know, I kind of started with moving into real estate about, I don't know, 2 years ago as kind of an adjunct to my normal job, year and a half ago. And as I was moving into that, I got scared because I realized that I no longer have a personal life. I just have a life, and my personal life is my brand. Right. And everything that comes out from there, right? Social media is no longer an outlet, social outlet. Social media is what I want what I want to be known for, right? And everything changed.
Right, right. You see? Yeah.
Everything changed.
So here's a question. What do people know you for? Like sometimes we may not really assess ourselves or even notice the impact that we're having on others around us. So what are three words that people consistently describe you as?
I'm gonna have to ask some questions. I gotta go find out because I'm curious now.
Yeah, awesome.
I think you're consistent. I like I see you everywhere, and I'm so grateful, and to the point to where like, oh, I hope David's on this today, right? Because once a month, and it's like hard for some people to always be consistent, but you are here. And then I do see you on other people's meetings when they screenshot, share like, hey, we just met up, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. David's there too. Like, so if not just consistent, but like supportive, which is really it means a lot. Like for some, like when people are doing things and you feel people behind you and you feel people that support you. So if I am a person that struggles with that too, like, oh man, what do I think? But sometimes that you do have to hear it from somebody else to realize, oh, like I guess I do have that quality. So
thank you for saying that, by the way. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I'm very selective what things I go to because I don't have a lot of time, by the way.
Only the good ones.
Awesome. And Asia, I saw your comment. You said integrity, honesty, and transparency. Awesome. Okay. So now that we've laid the foundation of your brand, let's talk about where it all comes together. And that's your website. How many of you guys have a website on here?
I used to.
Used to. Okay. Oh, so no one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You do? Okay. Okay, great. Great.
I have 3
Coming
websites.
soon. Coming soon. 2 of them.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, why a website? Because Google is not enough, y'all. Social media is great, right? But it's not enough to rely on if you want to make an impact, right? Your website is where you have like full control over your own story, visuals, and message. It's literally like your own space to just share whatever you want about yourself and your business without any distractions or ads, right? You want to think of your website as your handshake before the handshake, right? It's often the first in-depth introduction that people get to know like who you are and what it is that you stand for, right? And so let's talk about why having a website is so important and how to make it work for you. So here it is. You want to think of your website as your personal stage, right? It shows, having a website helps to show that you have professionalism. A well-designed website says, I'm serious about what I do, right? With a website, you're in control. Like social media is great, but you're at the mercy of algorithms, right? On a website, you're literally your own boss, right? You get to decide what's front and center. You know, if you think about your own social media feed, everyone is promoting something about themselves, right? Sometimes social media may crash. You know, does business, if you're only running your business on social media, does your business stop because your social media is down? You know, to me, that's risky, right? And it's also the hub for all things you. It's where your story, your work, your testimonials, and personality all come together in one place with nothing left to chance. And so just picture this for a moment, right? It's late at night, you know, a potential client stumbles across your website, right? They scroll through, they read your story, they see your work, and they're already thinking, I need to work with this person. That's the power of having a well-crafted website. Like, they don't have to book a consultation to speak with you to decide whether or not they would want to work with you. Your website also always does the convincing before the actual consultation, right? And so that's why having a website is so key and so important. And so we're going to look at the elements of an high impact website. So if you have a website, these are some things you want to make sure those are checked off to make sure that it's being maximized. And if not, if you're considering about having a website, here are some things to make sure that you have incorporated so that it's doing what it needs to do. So today I'll be using my own website as a demonstration. And so obviously the first thing that people look at is professional. When that person lands on your website, you literally have 8 seconds to convince them that you have 8 seconds to communicate what is it that you do, who you are, and how you can help them. And so if your website doesn't communicate that within that 8 seconds, you can miss out on a lot of potential opportunities, right? And so you want your website to be professional. First impression matters, right? Simplicity is key. You want a clutter-free design with easy navigation, you know, that makes your site looks professional and trustworthy, right? On your website as well, you do want to have a strong About Me section. Did you know that the About page is the second most visited page on your website? So this isn't just like a place just to put your resume. It's a place to really just connect with your audience on a personal level. You know, you can share a bit about your story, right? Why you do what you do and what excites you about what you do, right? you can really maximize on this page to just connect with people. I'm gonna keep reiterating what was said. People buy into people. So here you can feel free to share your personality, a bit of your story, some of your accomplishments, you know, people you've worked with and things like that. And yeah, maximize on that statistic. Second most visited page on your website. How do you want people to experience you when they read your about page, right? Number 3, you do want to have a portfolio or a showcase of your work, or maybe case studies in some of you all cases. Doing that can help to build like credibility. You get to highlight your best work or your client success stories. And bonus points would be if you have testimonials. So you want to make sure that the website that you have currently have those things that build social proof, right? It's good for us to like sell our own selves, but what's even better if we have like people selling our business for us, right? Did you have a question, Rocky? Your hand, he says hand is up.
Yeah, so what if you build your website and you're starting brand new, fresh, and you don't have any projects or testimonials yet?
Okay.
How would you because like on my website, I left I put I don't have anything yet, but it's coming soon.
Got it.
And I kind of like did a little bit like that just to kind of let people know that I'm in the process, you know.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. So I would really capitalize on really getting people to buy into you as a person then, like with content, right? Yeah, so that's what I would recommend doing.
I'll chime in there too, just for our experience. Like I let our website labs I did for our business in multifamily, but when I did have it, it was the what is those tests, like saying, hey, we did this case study. It'd be like case study, and then putting the stuff that we're looking for. We're looking in these markets for this kind of returns. We're looking for, you know, this many units, and just putting our buying criteria, our buy box, like highlighting and emphasizing this is what we're looking for, and then why we're looking in these markets, and then having so that way they know, like that's what, like, so coming from the multifamily real estate, like they want to know why you're going to Texas or Atlanta or why, right? Like our job growth or population or so really emphasizing your buy box, even like if you don't have that track record, that way they're like, again, that has that trust, like, okay, we know that this guy done his market research. He knows why he's going there. We want to go there too. Instead of just finding any deal anywhere, we're really, really strategic. Like we're strategic on where we buy. So I would definitely just highlight your buy box.
Right. That's a good one. I actually, especially from the perspective of pitching to an investor, I actually build a website where that is demonstrated. I could probably show you that at the end. Asia, I saw that your hand is up.
Yes, so I have 2 questions. The first one, so I'm like very, very beginner at this. So when it comes to like crafting your story, like, are we giving like a simplified version of the events in our life that made us who we are now? Or is it like this is who I am, this is what I'm trying to become kind of thing? Like, how do I craft my story? Because if I go in and, you know, just, you know, give all the events that crafted who I am today, I'd be writing a book pretty much, because my life is a roller coaster. But yeah, how would I go about the story part?
Good question. So all of us have different aspects of ourselves, right? This is where your target audience comes into mind, right? You want to select the stories that your target audience can connect with. For example, for me, I do like to share my story of launching, like becoming a business owner. So I shared my struggles because a lot of my target audience have gone through that similar phase of navigating becoming an entrepreneur and initial struggles and things like that. So you do want to get to know your target audience really well, and then select parts of your story that your target audience can connect with. And you can filter that on your about page, right? You can also share your vision for sure. You always want to have a snippet. Okay, this is what I've accomplished so far, but my ultimate vision is to accomplish X, Y, Z. And so that's how we'll go about it. Know your target audience first. Select parts of your story that your target audience can help connect with. And then share vision and pitch vision regularly, because people, as Kimberly said, buy into people first before they buy into your visionary. So whatever is your most life-changing, impactful turnaround story that you think will really leave an impression on someone's heart, that really created you to be who you are today, yeah, you could include that as well.
Let me just chime in real quick since we have less than 12 minutes. Let's have Seantal finish the rest of her presentation, and then we'll have the rest of the questions answered after that. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Awesome. And so also you do want to have a great, clear contact information, right? You want it to be easy for people to reach you. This could be like a contact form. Like for me, I do kind of have like a little quiz, kind of, filtering out, those people who submit inquiries and things like that. So you do want to make sure that it's really easy for people to find information about you. Like, have you guys ever gone on a website and it's really hard to find like how to reach these people? And it's kind of mind-boggling to me to have a business and not have a simple way to reach support, right? So you want to make sure that it's very easy to locate on your website. And also one of the most important thing that you want to do is make sure that your website is mobile friendly, right? Many people nowadays will access your site from their phones. So you want to make sure it's responsive and it looks great on all devices, right? And so just jot it down, but think of one improvement that you can make to your website to enhance these elements, right? Think about all the things that I just shared. Is your website professional? Like if you landed on your own website, would it leave a good impression on yourself? You need to have a strong about me section. What can you add to your about page to build that connectivity, right? Do you have a space where you showcase your work or what you're hoping to accomplish in most of your cases, right? And is your contact information easy to find, right? And also I like to speak on like human touch, right? One of the biggest advantages of personal brands and having a website over a LinkedIn profile is a freedom to showcase your personality, right? This is where you can add that extra human touch to make your brand more memorable. And some ideas to think of is brand photos. When was the last time you updated your professional photos, So scheduling those brand photos is so key. You can post photos of yourself, photos of the behind the scenes of you working, community impact, it doesn't only have to be like work-based, but anything that can give people insight into who you are. Sharing some fun facts about yourself is also cool, add a small section with fun facts like your favorite hobby or a surprising skill. It just helps people to just connect with you more. And your writing style. Do you all know that you all have like a brand voice already?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Does your website sound different than how you speak in person? Because some people, I could read their website and it may sound really stiff, but when you meet the person themselves, they're really bubbly and it can kind of catch people by surprise. And so you kind of want it to be consistent so people aren't confused, And so say you love cooking, you could add a line on your about on your about section, like when I'm not working on brand strategies, you'll find me testing new recipes in the kitchen. You know, little details like that can make you more relatable and more memorable, right? And so to close, there are a few extra things that you can add to your website to make it more engaging as well. You can add a blog or articles, right? For example, Rocky, you mentioned not having testimonials yet, but adding blogs and articles is a great way to, you know, add your case studies, show what you're hoping to accomplish, and really pitch vision there. You know, you can have a newsletter sign up. Do you know that about 95% of people who visit your website is not yet ready to take action? And so having a newsletter sign up can capitalize on those visits. You can literally begin to collect leads and nurture them by, you know, newsletter advertising until they're ready to take action. You stay top of mind by doing that, right? You want to add your links to your social media, right? Apart from your website, how else can they get to know you on a personal level? And so you can add your social links, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. This also helps you to rank on Google as well by incorporating those things, right? And you want to think of ways to get lead generation, you know, whether it's having strong call to actions, you know, to book a consultation, sign up for a newsletter, or just download a free resource. This is so key. I've seen websites where I may visit it and I have no idea of what they want me to do next because their call to action, it may be overwhelming or just not strong enough. And so you want to evaluate your existing site if you have one and make sure that those things are there. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there and we can get into questions.
I know Jackie had one.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
First of all, thank you, Kim, for this Zoom call. In regards to DJ, I think you've answered, Chantal. I think you've answered my question, but I think my only quick question is how can we align this with in a multifamily space?
Okay.
Your website is more like a lifestyle website, but in a multifamily space, what else should we add? Or
So like
okay,
pitching to investors, right?
yes.
Okay. Let me
Thank you.
no problem. Let me quickly pull that up. Okay. So this is not like for realtors, but I'm just showing you an example of a website that pitches to investors. So here same thing. They speak on what their vision is, right? You can share what your vision is and what you hope to accomplish in the future. And so here you see that it kind of looks like a research kind of a website where they are kind of pitching what the opportunities that they hope to expand to in their business. And so they kind of break that down. So for your website, I would just say focus on still like pitching your vision on the landing page, share case studies. On the about page, I would still highly recommend people still want to buy into you as well. So you still have to, I still recommend sharing parts of your story, you know, your vision, get people to still buy into you. You still want to have the things like contact information, how someone can contact you. You can still share case studies, or you can share projects that you've already done, you know, here on your page. And you can also share case studies as well. This is just an example of what a website pitching to investors look like.
And if I'll just add too, like if you search, I'm not sure if you guys are part of Facebook group or if you go into these other like Facebook groups, or that's usually where I go in, anything that says multifamily, and you search website or ask people, hey, you know, drop your website. People are not afraid to show it off. So definitely, I used to just look through so many of them, and then I took it to the person that did design ours, and I was like, hey, I like this part of this person's website, I like this part of their, and then just trying to, David dropped his for you to take a look too.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
An interesting example, not a shining example.
Right.
Art house.
Rocky.
Shoot, I forgot I was going to ask you. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Asia.
So my second question was, so I'm not like super active on social media, right? I'm the type of person that just kind of like post my pictures and like go, you know, kind of thing, or like I'll share a quote that I relate to or funny video, something like that. How do I transform my social media from like just being basic, like just, you know, just posting my pictures on vacation and, you know, stuff like that? How do I go from that to like, this is who I am, like, get to know me, this is my brand? How do I do that transition without it like being fake? Because I'm somebody who's very, very transparent and like what you see is what you get kind of thing. So I don't want it people to be like, oh, she's just trying hard, she's just trying to sell something or something like that.
For sure. Definitely there's a balance. Nowadays, marketing is definitely different than how it used to be in the past. You can totally show up being yourself. One of the things that you can do is your story bio. You can summarize what it is that you do, who you are for, and what you're trying to accomplish. That's one of the things to keep people focused whenever they see your brand. When marketing, you can continue to share like relatability and likability posts, like aspects of your daily life and things like that. But you'd also want to add on different things such as social proof, testimonials if you have some. You can educate, you know, because that positions you as an expert. You can showcase case studies in between, you know, and then also promotional as well. So there's different categories of posting on social media, but I would say the first quick thing that you can do is optimize your social media bio to let people stay focused. But then you also want to share a part of your professional life as well, because that's who you are too. Right. And so once you're consistent with that, you will begin to build, your brand.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, we're going to have a hard stop right now. This breakout room is automatically closed in less than a minute. So I just want to thank you, Chantal. This has been a fire presentation. We've learned a lot. Wouldn't you guys agree? I've learned a lot. And so let's make sure that we keep contact with Chantal. I'm pretty sure this time wasn't enough. And so if you guys want to learn more from her, make sure to connect with her after this. And let me see if I can, I can take a quick picture. Let's see. I think I have time for it. Chantal, let's like stop the share screen. That way we can take